The market in 2026 is setting up for some wild moves. Most people will miss them because they only watch big popular names. But under the surface, there are tiny companies trading for under 50 cents that are moving fast. Today I'm breaking down 5 penny stocks under 50 cents that are heavily traded, have real businesses and big upside potential if things go right. We're not chasing Reddit rumors or guaranteed 10 eyes junk. We'll look at what these companies do, why the market hates them, and what could change that. If you stay until the end, I'll share the riskiest, most explosive name on this list and how I think about it. If you're serious about building wealth over time, hit subscribe and tap like. We're building a community of calm, rational investors who ignore the noise and do the work. Now, let's get into these 5 penny stocks under 50 cents. Remember, these are highly speculative. This is about understanding risk, not chasing a lottery ticket. First up is a high volatility biotech play, Lunai Bioworks, ticker LNAI, trading around 39 cents. This is a tiny biotech, about a $6.8 million market cap, and it moves a lot. Daily volume is huge for such a small company. As a business owner, here's how to see it. Lunai is a preclinical stage biotech. That means no approved products yet and no steady revenue. They work on treatments for HIV, hepatitis B, influenza, coronavirus, and cancer. Their pipeline has several early candidates. EOB-HV01 is aimed at curing HIV using a patient's own cells. They also have preventive and therapeutic HIV vaccines, EOB-HV01 and EOB-HV12. For hepatitis B, they're trying to disrupt the virus with a drug called EOB-HB01. They also have cancer-focused programs like ENOB-DC11, an off-the-shelf vaccine for solid tumors, and ENOB-DC21, a non-specific intratumoral vaccine. In plain English, they're trying to train the immune system to better find and kill cancer cells. Operationally, with a preclinical biotech, you won't see clean revenue growth, EPS, or free cash flow. The key metrics are cash on hand, burn rate, and progress in trials. The listed P/E ratio of 7.88 is almost meaningless here because earnings at this stage are usually from one-time items, not stable profits. The real value question is 39 cents pricing in total failure. Their market cap is under 7 million, which is tiny for a company with multiple programs and partnerships. They have strategic ties with big research names, the Scripps Institute, Fred Hutchinson Cancer Research Center, Texas Biomedical Research Institute, UCLA, and the Hepatitis B Foundation. Those partnerships are the main catalyst. If one of their programs moves into a later stage trial or a partner steps up support, the stock can move hard. On the flip side, the consensus rating right now is sell. That tells you Wall Street is not optimistic. For an investor, this is ultra high risk. Dilution is likely. Timelines are long. But if you treat this like a small speculative slice of a portfolio, you're basically betting that at least one of these programs shows real clinical data over the next few years. Second, we move into education with Visionary Holdings, ticker GV, trading around 31 cents. This company is in education, not biotech. It offers private online and in-person programs in Canada for both local and international students. They provide high school diplomas, 2-year college programs, 4-year university diplomas, vocational programs, and even master's degrees. On top of that, they sell support services, help with immigration and study visas, student housing, career guidance, internships, and entrepreneurship guidance. This is a much more straightforward business model. They make money by enrolling students and selling add-on services. Think of it as a niche education platform with extra support for students coming to or living in Canada. The company recently changed its name in February 2024 from Visionary Education Technology Holdings Group to Visionary Holdings. Name changes can be a red flag or a reset. In this case, they may be trying to broaden their identity beyond just education tech. The market clearly doesn't love this stock right now. The share price recently dropped about 11% to 31 cents, and in extended hours it fell even more. Market cap is only about $1.9 million. Consensus rating is sell. The 50-day range is wild, from 20 cents to $1.26. That shows huge volatility and likely some speculation in recent weeks. When you look at valuation, there's not enough data here in the source to break down PHE or free cash flow. So as an investor, you focus on questions. Are enrollments growing? Are they profitable per student? How much debt do they have? Without clear answers, you have to assume risk is very high. The possible catalyst is a rebound in international student demand and better regulatory clarity in Canada. If they can scale their student services and show consistent revenue growth, the stock could re-rate. But again, you're dealing with a microcap stock under heavy selling pressure. This is not a safe education play. It's a turnaround or deep value speculation. Third on the list is a tiny skincare biotech, Azitra, ticker AZTR, trading around 24 cents. This is an early-stage biopharma company focused on precision dermatology. In simple terms, they use engineered bacteria and proteins to treat skin diseases. The flagship program is AZTR-12, a genetically modified strain of S. epidermidis. It's in a phase 1b trial for Netherton syndrome, which is a rare, serious skin disorder. They're also working on AZTR-04, another engineered S. epidermidis strain aimed at treating rash from cancer drugs that target EGFR. That's a real problem many cancer patients face. Then there's AZTR-01, an engineered human filaggrin protein for ichthyosis vulgaris, another skin disease. What stands out is the collaboration with Bayer. Big pharma partnerships don't guarantee success, but they do validate the technology to some degree. Market cap is about $3.8 million, which is very low for a company with multiple programs and a major partner. Unlike the last two names, the consensus rating here is buy, with a consensus price target of $4. That's more than 1,500% above the current price, according to the data. When you see that kind of upside on paper, you should not assume it will happen. Analyst targets for tiny biotechs can be way off, but it tells you that at least some professionals think the market is undervaluing the pipeline. On a traditional valuation basis, revenue, EPS, and free cash flow are not the main story here, because this is pre-commercial. You value this like a venture bet. What is the chance that one or more of these programs gets through trials, and what kind of partnership or buyout could happen if it does? The main catalysts, clinical trial readouts for AZTR-12 and AZTR-04, plus any deepening of the Bayer relationship. Also, any sign they can secure funding without crushing dilution. For a business owner mindset, ask, does this sign solve real problems? Do they have a focused pipeline? Are they aligned with a strong partner? If your answer is yes, a tiny speculative position can make sense, with full awareness that it could go to zero. Fourth, a blood test company targeting cancer and sepsis, VolitionRX, ticker VNRX, trading around 17 cents. This one is different because it already has products and a much larger market cap at about $27 million. Volition is a multinational epigenetics company. They're building blood tests to help diagnose and monitor cancers, sepsis, COVID-19, and more. Their core platform is around nucleosomes, small structures inside the cell related to DNA packaging. They have several products. NuCordivate is a cancer screening test for doves and other animals. That's a real market, and pet owners will spend money on early detection. NuQNets is for monitoring the immune system, especially around conditions where immune response is critical. NuCancer is for tracking disease progression, treatment response, and minimal residual disease in human cancers. Then they have Capture PCR, which helps isolate tumor DNA from plasma for early detection. NuCord Discover is a solution for profiling nucleosomes for research and development. This is not just a concept company. They have a full product lineup and are trying to commercialize across human and veterinary health. Market cap near 27 million is still small, but not microscopic. The consensus rating is buy, with a price target of $2.33, which implies over 1,200% upside from current levels. The market is skeptical though, otherwise the stock wouldn't be at 17 cents. For valuation, you want to see, are revenues growing from new cord vet and other tests? Are gross margins improving as they scale? How fast is cash burn relative to growth? We don't have those numbers here, but the framework stands. The catalysts are clear. Adoption of LNAI vet by more veterinary clinics, data that supports broader use in human cancer monitoring, and potential regulatory wins or partnerships. This is still a speculative name, but less binary than a preclinical biotech. They have multiple product lines across both human and animal health. If they show steady revenue growth and progress toward profitability, the valuation disconnect could narrow, but you still must accept dilution risk and long timelines. And fifth, our most explosive ocean energy play, Ocean Power Technologies, ticker OPT, trading around 36 cents. This company is all about ocean-based energy and maritime tech. They develop and commercialize power platforms that use ocean waves to generate electricity. Their PB3 power buoy is designed to generate power in offshore locations that are away from the grid. They also work on a next-generation power buoy and subsea battery systems, but they're not just hardware. They also sell software, controls, sensors, integration services, and marine installation services. On top of that, they have WAM-V technology. This is a wave adaptive modular vessel that enables roaming capabilities for unscrewed maritime systems. In other words, robotic boats that can carry sensors, gather data, and move around without a crew. They lease these WAM-V robots and sell access to information collected at sea. They also offer maritime domain awareness solutions and strategic consulting, plus offshore data collection, integration, analytics, and real-time communication. The customer base is a mix of public and private entities that need remote offshore power or data. Think defense, energy, research, and more. From a business owner view, this is an interesting mix of renewable energy, robotics, and data services tied to the blue economy. Market cap is around $81 million, which is big compared to the others on this list, but still small. Consensus rating is buy with a price target of $1.52, implying over 300% upside. The valuation case, the market might be pricing this as a niche, low-growth company, but the strategic tailwinds around offshore wind, maritime security, and autonomous systems are huge. You'd want to examine revenue growth from power buoys, WAM-V leases, and services. Look at gross margins on hardware versus recurring services. Also check how much capital they need to scale. The big catalysts, government and defense contracts, commercial deals in offshore energy or data, and proof that WAM-V can become a recurring revenue platform, not just a one-off sale. But here's the key risk disclaimer. This is the most explosive and riskiest name on the list because it sits at the intersection of many big themes. When things go right, the story can gain a lot of attention. When contracts are delayed or cancelled, the stock can drop fast. If you buy this, it should be with money you can afford to lose, knowing it could either re-rate sharply or grind lower for years. Let's zoom out for a minute and talk about how to think about all 5 of these names. Lunai Bioworks is a deep-spec biotech swing at HIV, hepatitis B, and cancer. Huge markets, but very early stage with a sell rating. Visionary Holdings is a tiny education and student services company in Canada with big volatility and heavy skepticism from the market. Azitra is an early dermatology biotech with a Bayer partnership and a buy rating with massive upside on paper, but still pre-commercial. VolitionRX is further along, with real products in both animal and human health, and a buy rating plus a large target gap. Ocean Power Technologies is a renewable and maritime tech play with multiple product lines, government and commercial potential, and a buy rating with strong upside expectations. The common theme is this: these are not stable blue chips. They will move up and down a lot. They all carry real risk of dilution, setbacks, and even total capital loss. A disciplined investor uses penny stocks as small, speculative parts of a broader plan, not as the core of a retirement strategy. The key is to size positions tiny, think like a business owner, and focus on whether the company is solving a real problem with a realistic path to scale. The market is a voting machine in the short term, driven by fear and greed, but a weighing machine in the long term. Over time, real value tends to surface. If you can stay patient, avoid leverage, and only risk what you can lose, you give yourself a shot at catching an occasional big winner without blowing up your account. If you found this breakdown helpful, subscribe, like, and share this with someone who chases hype without understanding risk. Invest wisely, stay focused on real businesses, and I'll see you in the next one.